Oh gosh, I hit the button without being ready. Okay, here we go. I am here now, ready to go. All right, so in my post, I said I was going to talk about Alzheimer's, and I am, but really, as the day waxed on today, I kind of got distracted with some other things. Hey, Dolores. But here's what I am going to talk about a little bit. I am going to talk about Alzheimer's in a few minutes because I have a lot of experience with it in a lot of different ways. But, okay, so I don't know how many of you saw this. So this is, hang on a minute, Pussy Willow. Okay, so I love Pussy Willow, and it comes around every year about this time. And my mama's always loved it. I think there was a tree somewhere near because she would cut it and have it. I got this at Trader Joe's, and I think I'm determined now I want to get my own tree. But anyway, it's beautiful. It's just so unique. Well, I just couldn't help myself because I'm Luana's child. I had to go search and find out where the name came from. Does anybody know? I bet you not a soul on here. I bet you not a soul that I know knows where the name Pussy Willow came from. Well, I Googled it, and here's what I found. In 1896 in the, Boston, well, I can't even remember the name of the article, but it was published in 1896. And it was, Boston College News. All right, so here's what it said. This is going to interest you, or it may not. If it doesn't, just go somewhere else. I am going to get to the Salmon Stew, and I'm going to get to the Alzheimer's. Okay, so there was a town in Asia. Nobody even knows the name of it. And they loved cats. They were very fond of cats. And so there came a lot of rain, and it was just a big rain and a lot of mud, and the cats were trying to get away from all the rain and sludge. And so as they were down by the river trying to get away, they climbed up in these willow trees that were by the river. And the rain kept coming, and the water kept rising, and in the mud that was all on them from walking in the mud hardened. After the rain stopped, the mud hardened. And these little kitties were hanging on these branches, and so when the rain stopped and the sun came out and baked them, the brown mud started cracking off, and you could see their fur, and it was a gray fuzzy. Well, that's what these look like. So they start off with a brown cap over them. So you could just kind of use your imagination now. Okay, with a brown cap over them, and then as they begin to mature, that cap breaks open, and this little fuzzy thing right here, it's fuzzy, just soft like a cotton ball, is exposed. And then some of them, I saw about 20 different varieties, actually have a wispy thing that looks like a cat's tail. So these little things are called the pussies, and this is called the Pussy Willow. It's a willow tree that they named it after these cats. So give me some love if you like that story, because I thought it was really interesting. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put that aside. No love. I don't see any love coming. Oh, there's one. Okay. Get on your love button. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you about the salmon stew, which, by the way, I thought was delicious. So here's how you do it. All right, so you see what this is. It doesn't look so wonderful, but this is in my food processor. I cut off the ends of this green onion, okay? And I washed it good because this was not an organic onion. I would wash anything good, but because it's not organic, I wasn't happy about using it because, onions, they do spray them with a lot of stuff. But I washed it really good. Probably would have been better to soak it, but I didn't. And then I used 2 stalks of celery and a whole onion, okay? All right, so if I was going to make the whole recipe, but I only made a half a recipe because this is not something you want to eat like you do soup or meatloaf or all that for several days. In fact, James will eat that just once. I'll probably eat it twice. I'll probably eat some tomorrow. My brother's coming and he loves it, so he'll eat it. Okay, so I put that in my food processor. The onion, the green onions, the regular onions, and the celery. And I just shredded it, okay? And then I put it over in this pan with some butter, and I sauteed it. I did it all in one pan. And I just let it brown and cook, and the flavors come out, and I salt and peppered it, okay? And then what I did is I drained and deboned, and I might gross you out here, but I ate those bones. That is some awesome calcium from that. They're just soft, mushy bones. But I don't want to put it in my soup because I don't mind, but some people might mind. And I drained it and I opened it up and I just smashed it up and put it in here with the sauteed vegetables. And then I added a package of this bone broth. This is chicken flavored. And then I added a can of coconut oil, coconut cream, coconut milk. Actually, this is really delicious. Don't buy the low-fat kind. You want the coconut fat. It's actually good. And then I put some half and half. This is what I had. You could put heavy whipping cream. You could put milk if you wanted to, but it's going to have more carbs, so it's not going to be as good keto-friendly. So here's what I'm going to do. And I just stirred that around. Now, the reason it's kind of brown, it would have been more white, but I let that sauteed stuff get a little brown. The butter got a little brown, so if you don't want it brown, if you want it more of a white color, which is fine, then you just don't let that brown, because all those vegetables are green and pretty. Okay, and then I cook some bacon in the oven, and I'm gonna put 5 or 6 or 8 pieces on the top. I forgot to tell you, the other spices I added was some garlic powder, just shook some garlic powder in, and then I love dill weed, so I put probably a teaspoon or maybe 2 of dill weed. I love dill weed, and so I love fresh dill as well, but I didn't go to town. So I didn't cook another whole pot for you because one thing, I ran out of salmon. You could use tuna, you could use fresh salmon. That's just what I had. You honestly could put chicken in that. Here's the other thing you could do, and I would do this, is you could put a bag of frozen spinach in there. You would never taste it. No one would ever know. James would have eaten that. I just didn't think about it. But it's a good way to get in your leafy greens because, we talk about you need leafy greens. Okay, so I hope you'll enjoy some salmon. This is the kind of weather, for salmon stew. All right, so I'm going to talk to you a minute about Alzheimer's. I posted it. I actually have scheduled an email to go out tomorrow, and it's about being healthy and what all diseases we get from the foods we eat. I like to think of food as medicine and fuel, and it can be poison too if it's not good fuel. So just want you to begin. That's the shift that I encourage my clients to take. Okay. So I want to, the email that I'm going to send out is, I was scrolling Facebook today and I saw a post, well actually it was Instagram. Dr. Carolyn Leaf is one of my mentors. I've been to her conference. I love her. She posted a quote from Dr. Stephen Gundry. And a lot of y'all know Dr. Gundry. He's in California. He's done a ton of 100 heart surgeries. He does sell a lot of product, but he also has a lot of good information. He's had his own transformation, just like I did, about what was healthy, because he, like me, thought oatmeal and grains and all those whole wheat bread, all those things were healthy. Okay, so I was delighted when I saw Dr. Leaf post Dr. Gundry's meme. It was really what it does for you is kind of gives you a relief that they support each other and that they respect each other, because that's what you want your mentors to do. You want them to respect each other but also be supportive. Okay, So if I don't have your email, you want to get that email, and you want to get another one that's coming up. I've written an email on narcissism, which is kind of one of those mysterious things that people hear that word, but they don't really know what it is. This is kind of a different take, and actually it's an article, now that I think about it, that Dr. Leaf posted about how to manage and deal with it. So give me your email, put your email below, and I'll add you right away. Hello, Tyler. Praying for y'all. I know this is a difficult time. Just praying for y'all. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on, but I am Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist and health coach, and my mission is to help 1,000 people get healthy. And I'm well on my way. I'm at about 170, I think, have joined my program. If you're interested, I'd love to have you. I'd love to talk to you about it. For less than $100 a month, you could join my program, and I'd love to have you. If you want to watch my YouTube videos, they're at Dr. Nancy Stanley. Go over there. I think one of the most, I've had a lot of interviews, but the one that I think has affected me most in the last few months is Michael Tapley. And I think the reason is because he would agree with this, he was so sick. He started 30 days ago, actually a little more than that now. But when we did the interview, it was 30 days, and he had a heart attack, actually 2 heart attacks, had bypass surgery, and really was looking at not some good years ahead. He'd been diabetic for 30 years, and he, I think Dee might be on here, and just really had lost his gusto for life, which is what happens when you're diabetic, because you're chasing that sugar all the time. And here's what he said to me that was really interesting, because, I'm not diabetic, so I haven't dealt with that. But he said, I just thought the medicine was all there was. I didn't know that there was a way that I could cure my diabetes. I just kept going, and they kept giving me more medicine. And he said, I got some diets. One doctor would hand me a diet, and then the heart doctor would hand me another diet. He said, and they were different. And so I didn't know what to do. And here's what I know, that confused people don't move forward. When you don't know what to do, you can't move forward. But Michael is moving forward now, because he knows what to do. He knows exactly what to eat. He knows exactly when to eat it. And there's no doubt about what to do. Now, it doesn't mean he won't eat something that's not optimal, but he knows exactly what to do. It's not a guessing game. And he is already better. His blood sugar is down to 90 when it was 240, up to 350 at times. Just with his diet, he's come off of one of his medicines. I believe he can come off of all those medicines, because what caused him to need those medicines was the sugar that was in his body. So if you've got a fat roll around the middle, guess what that is? It's the sugar your body didn't use in every form, in the form of flour, in the form of chips, potatoes, starchy things, carbs, okay? That's what it is. It's the carbs. And so I don't promote a protein and fat diet. You definitely need carbs, but it needs to be healthy carbs, and that's what healthy keto is. So I hope if you're interested and want to know more about my program, you'll message me, and let's get together, because life is too short and it's too long. If you're a grandparent, you want to be in the game. You don't want to be watching from the sidelines, and you certainly don't want your family having to see about you. You want to be seeing about them. So I hope you'll go and watch my YouTubes and educate yourself, and let's talk about how we can help you get healthy for the rest of your life. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist and health coach, and I'm on a mission to help 1,000 people get healthy. Oh, I almost forgot the Alzheimer's thing. Okay, so I talked last night about what the gut does. I'm going to talk some more about that in the next few days. I've got some more videos I'm going to release about the gut and about the adrenal glands and about the liver, just all of that. But two things I wanted to mention about Alzheimer's. Okay, I found a journal that where my mama had 9 years ago, I had begun to notice her health. And the first thing I want to tell you is that there is a test that they can do that will determine where you are on the scale with Alzheimer's. And I remember my mama took that test every year with Dr. Connor, and that one year she failed it, and it devastated her. And looking back on that, I wish I had been more prepared to prepare her, because honestly, it sent her into just a spiral. So just know, if your parents are struggling, if you're struggling with your memory, you need to educate yourself. And I did order books, I read books, and it really helped me a lot. But it was kind of after the fact. We were kind of about 7 years in, before I really, honestly, I was in denial, which happens so often. The other thing I want to tell you about Alzheimer's, if you visit a person that has Alzheimer's, or you see someone, what you never do, never, ever, ever do, is you never correct them when they make a statement. So we would drive up into the driveway at her house, and immediately when we got under the shelter there, she would look at me and she'd say, "Where's your daddy?" Well, my daddy had been dead 30 years. And the first few times I would say, "Mommy, remember, Daddy's dead." And then after a few times, I saw how that just rattled her, for two reasons. One, that she realized she could actually say that, and he had been dead. And the other thing was that he was dead, and she had no recollection of it. And so what I learned from that is, what you do is you just say, "I'm not sure," or he'll be here later, or and they just go on. They don't have to have an explanation. They don't dig into things and say, "Well, where is he? I wonder." They just have a question, and it's momentary, and then it's gone. And then in 10 minutes, she may ask me the same question again, "Where's your daddy?" And you just answer. And with something that can make her comfortable, okay? So I love you guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you'll get healthy. Fuel your body, fuel your brain. That was the message I did last night. If you didn't hear it, go back and get it. I talked about the axons and the dendrites, and why ketones, which the ketogenic diet is what you produce, is going to help fuel your brain in a better way, much better than the sugar you're eating. So let's talk soon. Have a great day.